everyone, Lexi here, and thanks so much for joining me today. Today I'm making multiple cards using the Big Scripty Greeting stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. I'm going to be using the Happy Birthday, the Missing You Always, Sending Big Hugs, and Thank You sentiments. I do love the You Are Awesome sentiment too, especially this little flourish underneath it, but I'm just not using that one today. So let's get started. First, I'm going to start by watercoloring 16 panels using my Sakura water brush pen. I'm doing 4 of each color combination, and to determine which combination I want, I like to use my little swatches that I've made previously. They help me to decide which colors I want to combine. I'm going to speed up the coloring process so that this video doesn't get too long, but for the first color combination, I'm using Cracked Pistachio, Peacock Feathers, Mermaid Lagoon, and Blueprint Sketch. If you saw my previous video, you know that this is my absolute favorite color combination. For the second combination, I'm using Salty Ocean, Chipped Sapphire, Dusty Concord, and Shaded Lilac. For the third, I'm using Spice Marmalade, Mustard Seed, and Scattered Straw. And finally, for the last set, I'm using Seedless Preserves, Picked Raspberry, Worn Lipstick, and Spun Sugar. And now that coloring is all set, I'm going over and flicking water on my panels and dabbing it off with a dry paper towel just to give them a bit more texture and flair. It makes them a little bit more fun. Next, it's time to stamp on the sentiments, so I'm getting out my Misty stamping tool just to make it a bit more easy. So first, I'm setting up my panel and aligning my sentiment to where I want it. Then I'm going to close the door to the Misty to transfer the stamp onto it. Next, I'm going to use my anti-static powder tool to prep my panel and ink up my stamp with Versamark ink. Then I'm going to close the door and firmly press to get a good impression. And once that is all set, I'm going to apply my white embossing powder, and this is just white embossing powder from Reflections that you can pick up at your local Michael's. And then I'm just going to heat set that to finish off this panel. Once that's all set, I'm going to do this to the rest of the panels. And here are all the birthday panels, and now I'm going to do this to the other 3 sentiments. So here's the final product of all the finished sentiment panels. I've done some with the sentiment on top and some with the sentiment on the bottom just to make them a bit more different and change things up a bit. Now that those are all set, it's time to work on the card bases. So I've prepared these to be 5.5 by 8 inches long and scored at 4 inches to make 16 landscape folding cards. This paper is just craft cardstock I got from Michael's. I know Simon Says Stamp has some really good craft paper, but I like to just use this because I had it in stock and it's cheap to get from the store instead of waiting for the post to arrive in the mail. So here I'm just using my Finetech Mika watercolor gold color set, and I'm flicking on little splatters just to give the card bases a bit more texture. This color set gives amazing shine in real life. The video doesn't really give it justice, but you have to trust me and take my word for it. So after that, I'm going to continue to splatter the rest of the card bases until they're all covered in beautiful gold sparkly goodness. So here are all the finished card bases, and now I'm going to add one last detail to the watercolor panels, and that is to tie a little bit of this gold and white string, ribbon, twine, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to wrap it around 3 times and then finish it off with a bow. So here are all the finished tied watercolor panels. And now to finish up these cards, all I have to do is adhere my panels to the card bases. Alright, now that everything's all set, here are the final cards. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it maybe gave you a little bit of inspiration. If you did enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you can be notified when new videos go up. All materials I used are listed and linked below. Thanks again for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!